Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Chet here from Avion Technology here in the Chicagoland area. We are an agency that works with other agencies to help scale them up, turn them around, make them more profitable. We also work with a lot of small businesses to give them an amazing digital presence, whether it's a website, it's an app, or digital marketing, so that they can take their business to the next level. So speaking of next level, one of the kind of conundrums that we are always, all the small business owners that I meet, one of the kind of existential problems that they face all the time is essentially, how do you grow the business, right? I mean, we all know that growing a small business is really hard. There's a lot of competition, cash flow is always tight, margins are low. How do you grow a small business, right? A lot of the bigger companies, they have big marketing budgets. They can afford to throw a lot of resources at a problem and kind of outspend their way through the problem. Small businesses don't have that. So what is it that small businesses have that big businesses don't? Well, in Main Street America, small business is still respected, right? That's huge. So I always feel that if a small business owner wants to scale up his or her business, the best place they can start off with is actually on Main Street America. And the way they can do that is by tying up with the local chamber of commerce and basically, uh, again, another really good way that they can start kind of increasing the awareness about their business, by letting people know that they exist. The best place they can start doing that is actually at networking events. So I'm going to discuss a couple of about 10 networking events today. I have my notes right here, by the way. That's why I keep looking there. And some of these I have not tried, I'll be honest. I've heard of them, but I've not tried them. Some of them I have, so I can vouch for this. So number one is attend local business events. No brainer, right? Folks within your community are going to be extremely, I think, welcoming, for sure. Number two, join industry specific meetups, especially if you're a specialist, right? We all know there's industries where you are a specialist, right? So let's say you're an ophthalmologist or an endocrinologist, something where it's not something generic, right? You're a specialist, right? So then it's always a good idea to join industry specific meetups. The reason being that a lot of these kind of specialists, they do really well when they build referral partnerships, right? So if you're an option specialist, it could help to kind of go for a conference where you meet a radiologist and you guys kind of team up and both of you send referrals to each other. I don't know, I'm just saying. So join industry specific meetups. Third is sponsor community events, right? Always works. Local events, community level events, they're always cash strapped. They're always looking for sponsorships. And if you sponsor those events, a lot of times folks are actually extremely grateful, right? I know, in my hometown, there's just so many events happening. There's a lot of events, but there's few sponsors. So if you're one of those who are sponsoring an event, folks are pretty grateful about it. Next is organize workshops or seminars. Again, extremely good way to kind of get your name out there. You're educating people, so you're not selling directly. But what this does is it kind of creates a name for you as a subject matter expert, right? You want to be known as the subject matter expert, right? And so when you do this, you get recognized as a subject matter expert. Always helps. Then the next one is collaborate with other local businesses, right? This kind of is a hit and miss because you got to figure out who's a good referral partner for you, right? Like I said, if you are a dentist, you want to team up with endodontists and orthodontists, all these people. But if you're a dentist, you don't want to team up with a restaurant owner. But if you are a restaurant owner, then you maybe want to team up with a bar, or you want to team up with a movie theater. I don't know. So you got to figure out who would be a good referral partner for you. But collaborating with a local business is always going to be helpful. Next is networking with local universities and colleges. I have not done this. I don't know. My research says that it does work. I'm not 100% sure. Join a co-working space. This is interesting. I have been a part of co-working spaces. It's a hit or miss. Some co-working spaces are amazing. Many are not. A lot of times, I've been in co-working spaces where everyone was selling to everyone else, and that's why everyone kind of avoided everyone else. I've been a part of co-working spaces where I've actually gotten business. Everyone was pretty chill. Everyone just had a really nice vibe to it. So you gotta figure out this one out based on where you are, and you gotta see the vibe of your place for this. Next is participate in charitable events or volunteering. Again, goes back to sponsoring community events. Communities are always looking for capital and they're looking for labor, right? So they're always looking for sponsorships, and then they're looking for volunteers who can go and kind of help in all the community things that they do. So again, a good place. I have actually seen, I've gotten a couple of really good projects from volunteering, because it's a really good time to meet CXOs, CTOs, CIOs, basically decision makers. When they're, they usually have a shield, they usually have a guard, right? So it's very difficult to meet these people on a phone call, via email. But when they are at these events, they are extremely relaxed. So you can actually get to meet them, talk with them, and the one thing you got to remember about networking events, and I always say this: you're not looking for business, you're looking for a connection, right? The business follows. When you stay in touch with someone over a year, over a couple of years, the business will come. But what you're out, when you're out at networking events, you're really looking at making a connection. I've seen a lot of folks who go for networking event because they've not met their sales quota, and now they kind of want to just make the numbers, and so they'll go to an event and start passing their card around. That does not work, and usually the one who's doing that kind of upsets the rhythm of the entire event, right? So don't be that guy or gal. Approach networking events as it's a marathon, right? So if you're starting it in your mid-20s or mid-30s, it's going to take you 10 years before the results of your networking fructifies, but stick with it, right? The next one is referral networking groups. Again, a hit or miss. I have not done well with these. I'll be 100% honest. So there's BNI. There's a couple of other referral networking groups within the area that I work. I have not done well, right? Because you need to get a reference, and then everyone else gets a reference. And for some reason, I have not been able to get a reference each week, right? So again, this works for some people. For some people, it doesn't work for me for some weird reason. Next is collaborate with other local businesses. We spoke about it. Just make sure that your partner is someone who's a good fit for you. If you're a spa, you're looking for a nail salon. If you're a Mediterranean restaurant, you're looking for a wine shop. Like a wine store. So see with whom you can have a complementary relationship, right? Because everyone's not going to be a good fit. The last one is actually networking through hobbies or personal interests. This is something that has worked for me. So I'm a writer. I also write poems, and I also write plays. So I've written a couple of plays, and in a couple of my plays, actually, I've had folks who are extremely successful who acted in my plays. And I got a little bit of business, but I also made a lot of lifelong connections with a few people, with a few actors who had acted in my plays. And in their day jobs, these people were really heavy lifters, right? One of them is a top tier cancer specialist. Another one of them, he owns a company which has $1 billion valuation. Another one has a crypto company. Another one is a vice president in a big regional bank, and he's an expert in payment processing. And these guys are all in my play, right? So again, goes back to what I said. If you're someone who's looking for business straight off the bat, not going to happen. But you will make a connection, and that connection leads to a connection, which leads to another connection, which eventually leads to something, right? The whole game of networking is staying on the battlefield, and that's life, right? The whole game of life is about being on the battlefield and being there, right? We live in an age where everything is instant, right? It's instant karma, instant gratification, TikTok. I can go on and on about TikTok, but we live in an age when we want everything instant. Right? We want everything to happen the moment you do it, and networking is one place where that's never going to happen. Relationships, connections, referrals, your portfolio, your reputation in the marketplace. All of this takes 10, 15, 20 years of hard work and consistent delivery to happen, right? So if you're a small business person and if you're watching this video, there's a saying that the best time to plant a seed was 20 years back. The next best time is today, right? I don't know who said it, but essentially goes something like this, that the best time to plant a seed was 20 years back, right? The next best time is today. So the best time to have started networking was 10 years back, but the next second best time is today. So start networking from today. But remember, it's like a plant. It's gonna take time to grow. You gotta take care of the soil. You gotta water it regularly. You gotta fertilize it. You gotta prune the leaves, do all that good stuff. And that's when after 10, 20 years, you're gonna get a big oak tree that you're gonna be proud of, right? So Chet here from Avion Technology, my little 10-minute vignette about life, networking, everything in between. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, press like. If you want to subscribe, press subscribe. If you want to be notified every time we upload a video, click on the bell icon. Thank you so much. Take care.